And every type of armed resistance against both the settlers and also the Israeli occupying force in the West Bank. Doesn't matter if it's your favorite podcasters like Wife that participate in these raids. The violence that the Palestinians engage in an act of resistance against this illegal occupying force is literally legal, definitionally legal. Okay? It's just the truth.
Guys, this is the clip that turned the entire community into an uproar, and I think a percentage of it is for valid reasons. This is the clip that most people reacted to. If anything, they heard an even shorter version of this. Where's the Dan Saltman cut? That's the one that I really want to listen to, because that one is like 30 seconds long. And he said it was upscaled. Does that mean it was like AI upscale? They went to like fucking obscene lengths to get this clip as short as possible. Let me see this. Where's the Dan Saltman fucking cut? Is this at DBL? Oh no, this is not it either. What is Dan's current Twitter? DBL sounds like fucking psychotic. Here's the high quality edit of Hasan wishing for Hila's death. Please do not use the scuffed version. We will use the Dan Saltman version. This one is the 30-second hypercut.
And every type of arm...
Motherfucker edited this down to 30 seconds and let him clear his fucking... I think it's part of it is because Hasan Piker is like all dead air. But like this is a hypercut and he immediately fucking goes...
And every type of armed resistance against both the settlers and also the Israeli occupying force in the West Bank. Doesn't matter if it's your favorite podcasters like Wife that participate in these raids. The violence that the Palestinians engage in an act of resistance against this illegal occupying force is literally legal, definitionally legal. Okay? It's just the truth.
Okay, this clip is fucking insane. It is a legitimately crazy fucking clip. That being said, with this context, if this is the only thing you hear, there are people who think that Hasan is not inching towards, not dog whistling. They think that he is literally saying that you could go and kill Hila Klein in current day. That's not what the clip is. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That being said, I think that this is a clip of Hasan Piker being completely fucking brain broken by the constant feud with Ethan Klein to the point where he throws something in that legitimately doesn't fit with the argument that he's making in the video. In this clip, and I'll play it again, everything he's saying sounds essentially in current tense, like things that are currently able to happen, people who are actively fucking in Gaza. And then he throws in like even your favorite podcaster's wife,
Nick,
which is entirely in past tense.
And every type of armed resistance against both the settlers and also the Israeli occupying force in the West Bank. Doesn't matter if it's your favorite podcasters like Wife that participate in these raids.
It's all in present tense except for participated, which is in past tense.
The violence that the Palestinians engage in an act of resistance against this illegal occupying force is literally legal, definitionally legal.
That being said, if you go listen to the actual clip from the actual stream, you will get exactly what the clip actually is. And once we know what the clip actually is, we can then move on to criticize it. Because that is like a fundamental piece here that is extremely important. We need to criticize what Hasan Piker actually says. All right, so I think it's pretty fucking obvious that Hasan Piker mentioning Hila Klein in current day while describing a valid military target is absolutely reckless and fucking stupid. That being said, there is additional context here that needs to be shown to provide what he's actually trying to say in his argument. Because I noticed the clip starts pretty late, and this is probably why.
Current political leadership in Israel does not want a Palestinian state, and the Israeli parliament just approved a motion to annex the West Bank.
Like any kind of violence that Israeli settlers or the Israeli military experiences in the West Bank is literally legal, okay? It is legal resistance against an occupying military force. I cannot...
Like, in this context, he is absolutely talking about people who are currently occupying the West Bank. People who are actively invading the West Bank. Not people who live in California.
I cannot repeat this enough. Just like any kind of violence, any kind of violence that the Israeli occupying force experiences in the Gaza Strip is actually, once again, totally legal and totally moral resistance by the Palestinians. Doesn't matter if they're the Al-Aqsa Brigade, doesn't matter if they're a part of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, doesn't matter if...
Like, everything that he is saying in this entirety of this clip is talking about people who are actively inside of Gaza. Now, that's not endorsing or criticizing. I'm not, like, this is literally just fundamentally understanding what we're dealing with here, right? Hila Klein is not actively occupying Gaza territory. That would not make her, in his eyes, an active target in current day.
If they're DFLP, PFLP, or even former Fatah militants, okay? It is perfectly legal, perfectly valid, and perfectly moral, okay? 100%. This is not like this is not a gray area. This is black and white, okay? It doesn't get more black and white than this.
Like, he is specifically saying that it would be legal to do what he is saying. It would not be legal for a fucking stray missile to hit California. It would not be fucking legal to go shoot somebody in the United States.
Israel's in the wrong.
He's wrong, by the way. We'll get there. But I need people to understand that before we progress through this, like right now, this is not Hasan Piker making the argument that the UN would just be okay with assassinating a YouTuber's wife. Okay? Once we can all agree on that, we can move forward.
Israel is actually engaging in an apartheid, which is a crime.
Okay, but he platforms people. I understand the issue. That's a good point. Yes, people like Bad and Panada have literally argued that. But, like, that's a good argument. Lying about what Hasan Piker says in this clip is a bad one.
In and of itself, Israel's doing a genocide in Gaza and an apartheid in the West Bank. Two crimes in and of itself. And every type of armed resistance against both the settlers and also the Israeli occupying force in the West Bank. Doesn't matter if it's your favorite podcasters like Wife that participate in these raids. The violence that the Palestinians engage in an act of resistance against this illegal occupying force is literally legal, definitionally legal. Okay? It's just the truth, straight up. It doesn't matter that they look to be in garb that makes you think that they're in the right.
And the garb is not like Teddy Fresh merchandise. Now that we've established the terms of what we're talking about, I think it's absolutely outrageous to mention Hila Klein in the context of shooting and killing people who are actively inside of the Gaza Strip, actively either perpetuating the genocide or occupying space that isn't theirs. I think that he is so brain broken by the constant fighting with Ethan Klein that even in like an argument that he's facing while watching a video trying to describe a current day situation, the only thing he can think of is the Kleins. I think it's reckless to do that. I think that people can take that the wrong way. My evidence for that is the fact that this statement came out and everyone assumed it was about killing Hila Klein today. And a bunch of people on Twitter are just justifying it because of her ride along that she did like some fucking 20 years ago. Right? Like, even if the statement isn't explicitly that fucking Hila Klein is an active target in current day, that clip went around and that's what people thought it was, and then people spent an entire day justifying it. So my position that things are getting fucking scary in this community is 100% accurate. My position that I think people should send support to Hila during this, I still stand by it. I think that's a really good thing to do because I think that this is legitimately getting to the point where it's accelerating so much. I wouldn't be surprised if things start to get a little bit worse before they get better. We've been seeing skulls sent to people's houses. It's an all-out dox war right now. And people are not like shy about being extremely violent on social media associated with this entire situation. So that's my opinion on it. But to get to that opinion, I have to tell you the actual context of the clip before we move forward. Now we've done that, so we can engage with it. This is the clip as it was posted, the 40-second version.
Matter if they're DFLP, PFLP.
And I don't think this clip does a good enough job establishing that we're in the context of, in his opinion, in the context of people who are actively perpetuating this or actively inside of a zone that is not their land.
Or even former Fatah militants, okay? It is perfectly legal, perfectly valid, and perfectly moral, okay? 100%. This is not like this is not a gray area. This is black and white. Okay. It doesn't get more black and white than this. Israel is in the wrong. Israel is actually engaging in an apartheid, which is a crime in and of itself. Israel's doing a genocide in Gaza and an apartheid in the West Bank. 2 crimes in and of itself. And every type of armed resistance against both the settlers and also the Israeli occupation.
And again, there are multiple reasons why this clip is bad in the context of other things that you can use. But if you're arguing that that's what he's saying, you're wrong. You're 100% wrong. If you're arguing that he platforms Bad Empanada regularly and doesn't care that Bad Empanada is a crazy doxer who said horrible things about Hila Klein, who's done simulations fucking killing her in video games, or that he said that anyone who's ever supported the IDF in any capacity is a Zionist, right? That like shouldn't be like considered as a local dog catcher. I'm going to agree with you every single step of the way. If you're arguing that what he said here is inappropriate, especially for those explicit reasons that I've just listed, or any of the other ones off the top of your head, like that he glorifies terrorism as like musical people, or he has promoted ship raids where like hostages go away for like 8 months. Like these are all like extenuating factors that absolutely are to be like considered when you hear clips like this. And if you think that he's dog whistling, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I'm going to say I don't agree with you, but I'm not going to say that you're wrong. If your interpretation is that he is explicitly calling for the death of Hila Klein in current day, you are incorrect. So this is the reaction from LSF about this clip. Bro really had to make absolutely sure he was talking about Hila here. This is kind of my issue with the clip entirely, like that she doesn't belong in this conversation. And that's why I think it's like brain broken. For real, I thought it was a title saying that she was included in the people that he was talking about for 90% of it, not just naming her specifically. No, because he'll be talking about something. You know what it is? It's very similar to the way that Hasan Piker will be talking about an issue, and then he'll just latch back to Destiny. It's common. We've seen it for like a really long period of time, where he'll be talking about something entirely unrelated, entirely different, and then he'll be like, this is exactly like the time fucking Destiny, because he really wants to talk about it more. And he can't stop himself from doing it. I think realistically, if Hasan Piker just let loose, he would do an entire week of streams just bitching about Destiny, bitching about Ethan, bitching about Hila. But he feels like he needs to make content, so it kind of just like slips through the cracks, kind of just breaks out when it has an opportunity. Twitch is probably going to donate subs. Twitch will not ban him for this. I think we all know that. But ultimately, do you want me to sit here and read you the list of like times where Twitch doesn't apply their TOS equally or evenly? No, I don't think he's going to get banned for it. But I don't expect any of these people to get banned for anything. So at this point, I think that's kind of just understood. Waiting for how this one is out of context. I think it is. I think it pretty clearly is, but that doesn't make it a good clip. That doesn't invalidate Hila's feelings about it. Doesn't invalidate Ethan's feelings about it. I haven't seen his video yet. We're going to check that out today, but it is completely out of context. I mean, we all knew that he'd do the seal laugh if someone attacked Hila, but it's nice saying it out loud. So Ethan reacted to it, and he said, if I started saying shit like, Hasan is a Hamas propagandist and therefore a legal military blank, which I do not believe, in quotations, everyone is going to be okay with that. This is the 4th time a leftist Twitch streamer has explicitly called for me or Hila's death. Nobody has been reprehended for this death threat by Twitch, not even once. For comparison, on YouTube, Bad Empanada played an FPS game where you play as a Hamas soldier and murder Israelis. He is simulating murder on Hila in the game, and that is a direct quote. It was like, can we find all of the secretaries? So he absolutely did do that. And as a result, he caught a week-long suspension. He hasn't wished death on either of us on YouTube since then, as he knows there are repercussions for making death threats on YouTube. Now, one thing specifically with Hila Klein, and we actually touched on this last stream, and I want to address this one specifically. I don't know when it became fair. Not fair. Fair isn't the correct word. I don't know when it became the core principled issue that Hila Klein decided to go on a ride along and sit in a Humvee during a raid, and that was apparently the big problem that people had with this. Am I missing something? I feel like we spent like 6 months where people just were criticizing Hila Klein for even being the secretary. I feel like only now, I guess, do they get like an optics check and they realize that like that was eventually not going to be a solvable or I guess an engageable argument anymore. But I quite literally remember the majority of people saying that she's a child murderer explicitly because she was a secretary for the IDF. And the ride along wasn't even a factor Or if it was a very small factor because they were condemning her just on behalf of her being a secretary to begin with. But now all of a sudden it's like, well, we were never mad about that. It's like, no, I'm pretty sure you were. She didn't even kill anyone. Ethan claims she didn't even fire a gun outside of basic training, which I believe. If she wasn't armed during the one Humvee ride, I don't think they like gave her a fucking like. I don't think she saw combat as a secretary. So I do believe that. There's no reason not to. So yeah, I don't think she killed anybody. But yeah, so that was what Ethan Klein said. If I started saying Hasan is a Hamas propagandist and a legit military target. Then there's also the Matt Lech situation. I don't think this is like super relevant to the rest of it. Matt Lech is 100% the person who wrote that. I know because I DM'd Sam to ask why the fuck he would post something so insane. He explained it was Matt and made the bitch delete a tweet. Matt Lech is also a fucking worm. For those who don't know, it's a podcast producer for Sam. Wait, Matt is a podcast producer for... I didn't know who Matt was. I didn't realize he was affiliated directly with Majority Report. We have other Majority Report stuff here as well. Apparently, like, Sam Cedar is joking about how he could sue Ethan Klein. I'm 99% sure that Matt was behind the tweet. That's about when I stopped the MR. That's interesting. So, let's get to the actual stuff, though. While this was going on, so then Hasan posted this tweet, and this is like the constant weird Destiny cope as well. As soon as he gets into any controversy at all whatsoever, he like links back to Destiny. I think these are like the two worst people online. I gotta be honest with you. At this point, if you really ask me to pick between Destiny and Hasan, I don't think I can give you a solid answer. So Bad Empanada was tweeting that a streamer named Destiny, real name blank, is a confirmed pedophile. He attacks me just so we can maintain plausible deniability while he goes after Hasan. I respect you, my Australian warlord. And then someone said, bro, you literally said that in the clip that she's 15. I think this is in reference to the stuff from when he was doing like the MLG shit. Right, and there's the DMs in the group message. And then Destiny makes one of his like patented pedo joke tweets where he said, have you even seen the 15-year-olds that they're putting out today? I mean, this is just like, I gotta be honest with you. I think Destiny does a thing where he like laughs this stuff off and he puts out enough of these like bait joke tweets that people will eventually think it's like oversaturated and they stop engaging with like legitimate arguments from the Ryan Beard video. It's just kind of like a little weaselly satire defense target where he kind of just throws all this shit at the wall, and then after all that happens, it's like there's just so many tweets of Destiny making this joke and people just run to defend him every time that nobody really takes the claim seriously anymore. So I think it is kind of gross. And then Hasan Piker uses this as an opportunity to get out of his drama because he's like a little whiny snake too. I don't know, these guys just kind of like, I think that Hasan and Destiny are both shitty people, and they constantly use each other being shitty as an opportunity to deflect from themselves being shitty. It's like a snake eating itself, you know? Only it's two different snakes. Like one snake is eating the tail of the other snake that's eating its tail. Yeah. Hasan-Destiny Vosh. I mean, the entire community, everybody seemingly associated with Destiny is poison. I don't like any of the Orbiters. I don't know the new ones super well, but any of the majority of the former ones. I think the only exception is Turkey Tom, and Turkey Tom was Turkey Tom before he was hanging around Destiny. I don't really like any of the A-logs. I think that like Destiny has kind of poisoned commentary discourse probably in the last couple of months. I think that everything he touches related to Ethan Klein gets a little gross. I feel like Destiny has essentially just like infiltrated and poisoned the entire drama community in some capacity. Does anybody else feel like that? I don't know. It's just like it's like an Ouroboros. Dude, it's just kind of gross. I don't know. Look, I'm not gonna say that I wasn't a huge fan of Destiny at one point. I'm a fallen fan or whatever. But I have been thoroughly slapped with a reality pill, and it is just absolutely embarrassing to see this continue to go on. How did you say that? How did I say what? That's a new cope? Is Smaggle a big Destiny fan? I'm a Fallen fan. Literally, yeah, dude. Now, apparently Hasan was barred by an event from AT&T. So he couldn't get into Ludwig's event because of AT&T explicitly.
How come you aren't invited to these things anymore? I am. This is just the one thing that I can't do because look at that. You see that in the corner right there? They don't fuck with me. That's
insane.
Yeah, I'm literally in the Creator League. I just haven't participated in any of the events because I was injured for most of the time. Why don't they like you? I don't know, man. Think. Think for a second.
So is he just
Think.
admitting that like everybody's shitting on him? Well, I mean, he wants us to say that it's Ethan Klein and Dan Saltman's fault, but I still think it probably has something to do with the terrorism.
Why could a major corporation...
Do you think that I'm a bad person for still liking Destiny, even though I acknowledge he low-key sucks? I don't want to sit here and get linked into this topic and argue about this for 24 hours a day, because there's enough clips of Destiny like crying that I'm like counter-opt or whatever or something. There's like 4 clips of it, so I don't really want to create another one. But yes and no. I don't know. If you're acknowledging that he's like shit, then like, yeah, no, it's fine, I guess. If your position is that like Destiny is saving the left, I definitely think less of you. If you're a casual fan who just really doesn't give a fuck, I guess I kind of respect it. But if your whole thing is like, we need Destiny to like save lefties from becoming right-wing conservatives and save politics, I probably have the lowest opinion possible for you. I think like only lower than that would be like Jared Fogle or like Bo Blacks.
Not like a particular political content creator who isn't necessarily, like a pariah figure at all. I mean, a political content creator who gets like coverage from mainstream news in general. Just think, what could it be? Is there one issue? Because like these companies normally don't mind progressive politics. What is the one issue that causes a lot of fear in the hearts and minds and souls?
It's just crazy, dude. Hasan Piker confirms that he lost a sponsor. He thinks it's a big play to like insult Ethan and Dan. But again, there's just so many reasons why Hasan would lose a sponsor here that wouldn't be people reaching out as well. It could be either way. Ultimately, though, I do think his actions are responsible for why he's become why AT&T has decided he can't play with his friend Ludwig. Like, that's a thing that's happening. Stochastic terrorism. Stochastic, it's stochastic terrorism, right? That's how you fucking pronounce it. I'm not gonna get a million comments about, oh, that's not how you fucking say it. That's not how you fucking say it. Yeah, I mean, I think that is probably a good definition for Hasan, 100%. This is the clip that I saw. Is this the one that I posted? There's one that I posted that is like satirically bad. No, this is the clip of Hasan denying it. Again, this is a huge problem with Hasan Piker, because every time I listen to a clip of him trying to explain anything he says, he's so egotistical and retarded that he's never even able to explain it.
That's crazy. It is what it is, I guess. The
Just
resistance against this illegal occupying force is literally legal, definitionally legal. Okay? It's
Scholastic terrorism, got it, bro.
just the truth. And
No, it's not. If somebody attacks Hila Klein, they're gonna go to jail.
Okay, so when I say that there are people who think this position, I need to just pull up mine. Okay, yeah, this is the tweet that I fucking posted. Because this is an insane quote. I'm sorry. Like, I feel like you have to be out. I feel like you either just got clickbaited super hard. Again, this Asmongold clip is just bad.
if it's your favorite podcaster's like wife that participate in these raids, the violence that the Palestinians engage in an act of resistance against this illegal occupying force is literally legal, definitionally legal. Okay? It's just the
Like, I'm sorry, if people don't think the course correction is worth it, listen to what Asmongold says.
truth. And
No, it's not. If somebody attacks Hila Klein, they're gonna go to jail. Why is he telling people this? Why would he be what is wrong with you? Do you think he'll get banned?
Like, I know that we all realize Hasan Piker is highly unintelligent. What are the odds that, like, Hasan Piker is so stupid, he thinks that you could walk up and assassinate a U.S. citizen in the name of a fucking foreign power, and that it would be legal? At that point, if you're coming away thinking that is not even what he's implied is a different argument. If that's what he said and meant, and you're not going, what else was what was before or after the 30 seconds I heard on Twitter? I mean, I think that's at that point kind of on you. Implied is a different argument. If you think he literally said that like you could walk up and assassinate a U.S. citizen in cold blood in the U.S. in current day, and you're just like, and that's a legal thing to happen, and the UN would like shake your hand, I mean, at this point, I don't really know how to help you.
For this? At this point, I don't think so. I think that Twitch just doesn't care. I do. I think that Twitch is... They're so...
And by the way, a dog whistle... Because if you think it's a dog whistle and you agree with the framing that I presented for it, that's one argument. If you think he literally said that and he was just wrong, that's not what dog whistling is, right? If I go, you could legally kill Augie, right? And if I said that deadly serious, me making a false statement that you could murder somebody, it wouldn't be dog whistling. That's not how dog whistling works, right? Like if I go on stream and I said, you could legally shoot him, right? Obviously don't do that. I obviously disavow that. That's not what a dog whistle is. That's kind of saying the whole thing out loud.
Ideologically captured by, like, I don't know what to do. I don't. He wants in on the lawsuit? I guess so. I mean, like, he's making a direct call.
So what about the But, like, here's the argument. This is how you know that you're, like, completely, like, a member of the totally fucking brain dead. If I explain to you, like, legitimate arguments towards, like, just actual... of like what's actually happening, and your first response is, but what about the senator? But what about the gun that he tweeted? But what about the schematics? But what about the 60 segments you've already done on that? Well, that's like yeah, obviously. Yeah, it's a totally valid argument. This one's just not, though. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of that. Your defense mechanism shouldn't be, but what about this other clip? It should be like, hey, let's just make sure the things that we're saying are correct, so Hasan doesn't report back to his audience and tell everybody that they're lying about him again. I hate Hasan Piker. I think that you hate Hasan Piker, right? So when it comes down to it, I think that the clips about Hasan Piker need to be the best represented clips possible on every opportunity. The opportunity to post something that we don't even know if it's accurate or not is a risk that we are not willing to take, or we should not be willing to take, explicitly because we do not like Hasan Piker. We don't want to give Hasan Piker more opportunities to dismiss us when we criticize him, right? Nobody likes that. Nobody likes when Hasan Piker tells his audience that everybody's crazy, and they all just go, oh yeah, these guys are crazy. Well, if you post things that are completely out of context, and you say that Hasan said things that he didn't say explicitly, not implied, explicitly, all you're doing is arming him to dismiss you again in the future. And you could argue that nobody cares about it, but there's a lot of fucking people who watch your streams and they all think you're crazy. So that's like a major fucking factor when it comes to criticizing Hasan. I think that there are people out here who are extremely bad faith, who clip things extremely bad faith, and all they do is feed the Hasan Piker machine and allow him to continue maintaining a large audience. I think they are counterproductive to what everybody else is trying to accomplish, and that being exposing Hasan Piker for being one of the easiest targets of terrorism support in modern day social media. Hasan Piker can literally, like, there's a clip of him every single day that is above board. All these responses that you're sending me, oh, but what about the gun schematic? But what about Bad Empanada? But what about the time that he fucking said the terrorists are musical people? But what about, all this is proving my argument. Those are all good arguments. This one is a bad one. We have so many good arguments to work with. Why do we have to fabricate one? Right? That's all. That's the point. That's the overwhelming point. But yeah.
Call for violence. A direct and immediate call for violence again.
And again, I'm sorry. I gotta stop myself again. I know I'm getting ahead of myself here. When you say that, I'm not being fair. This is the bare minimum. This is not me trying to get a fucking medal or a pat on my back or be the king of both sidesing it or be a centrist. I hate this guy. I just want this to be a good functioning argument so you don't help him. This is not me trying to help Hasan Piker. This doesn't help Hasan Piker at all. If everyone just acted above board and clipped all the shit that was good, it would do way more damage than just lying. I don't need you to say, good job, Nick. Nick is fair. Nick's doing a great fucking thing here by correcting the narrative. The best thing that you could possibly do is just send people in the correct direction so we understand all the context moving forward. That's all I'm trying to say here. It doesn't help Hasan Piker to correct somebody when they tweet misinformation that gets 100,000 views.
Against people that are American citizens. That's insane. Oh my God. Yeah, now you come to that conclusion. Well, I mean, no, I've said that before. I mean, I have. And so, yeah, make a post like also, with Alpha Mike.
Also, listen, Tectone even DM'd me because unfortunately, like when I tweeted this out, right, when I had posted my breakdown of this whole situation on Twitter, Tectone reached out to me, totally cool about it. His tweet just happened to be the one that I quote tweeted. So like, yeah, I'm telling you, I don't think this is like the most outrageous fucking position. But so from here, let's talk about what Hila Klein had to say, because I think this is pretty important to go through. Hasan Piker, who was exposed by my husband to be a disgusting creep, has retaliated by calling for violence against me. Think back, you'll notice a trend. When he wants to get at Ethan, he attacks me. This is just another glimpse into the psyche of a man that does not see a woman as his equal. He uses women to whatever end he needs. It'll be revenge, sexual gratification, or to massage his ego by exposing their nude bodies without their consent to his boys. Look, I think above all else, the people who are being talked about here in this context, recklessly by Hasan Piker, specifically Hila Klein, who I've had to go through, like, I tweeted out, what is it? I tweeted out, like, Hila Klein support is pivotal right now. And the amount of, like, insane vitriolic shit around and under that tweet is just so fucking deranged. Because even if Hasan Piker didn't explicitly call for the death of Hila Klein in current day, that did not stop people on Twitter, people on X, people on social media from defending the fuck. And I think this is a pretty solid clapback. Yeah. And then puts up the clip. Just another Sunday. And ultimately, for Hasan Piker, it is kind of just another Sunday. That's yeah. F? Did we get taken down by the government? Well, it's not on my end, so I'm still going to keep going. Because you just got to refresh. In the middle of the speech, on my end, it's just going to be dead air. Give you 30 seconds. 30 seconds is not a 3, 2, 1 count, but I'm giving you 3, 2, 1. I think it's extremely careless. Well, it's not just careless. Careless would be implying that it just slipped out. It was an oopsie daisy by accident. I think that, like, Hasan Piker in certain ways is malicious by having to weave them in there in, like, situations that involve, like, death. But ultimately, this was kind of the groundwork that was laid during the debate when Hasan Piker was arguing with Ethan Klein over whether his wife was a terrorist, right? If Hasan Piker is arguing that Hila Klein is a terrorist in a debate setting, it's not necessarily surprising that this is his position that he would hold, right? This is not like an overnight thing either. They've been talking about this for quite a while. I have enough with Hasan and his fucking goon squad. No matter where you stand on Israel-Palestine, how could you target someone like Hila Klein? This came from Tom Ward. Tom Ward spoke out. She's generous, kind, caring, and an amazing wife, mother, and boss, and she hasn't harmed anyone. Go fuck yourselves. And then she said, "Thank you, Tom Ward." So yeah, I'm hoping she's doing cool, doing good right now. Apparently, Hila and Ethan are getting closed carry licenses, or they have applied to get them. I think that's probably the best bet. It's a fucking scary time. Again, like, you're joking here, and people are gonna take a piss out of me saying the shit's getting, like, bigger and bigger, and I think that potentially someone could get hurt in this conflict. When I went to VidCon the week before, somebody got shot in the head over a copyright dispute. So it's not completely unheard of. Do I think that Hasan Piker is gonna do it? No. Do I think that, like, fans are fucking crazy and people are getting exceedingly violent and justifying exceedingly violent rhetoric, and they've been doing so for about a year, even unrelated to this drama? Yeah, no. X has been like gradually getting more violent when it comes to anything related to politics, even outside of Israel-Palestine, for like over a year now. I think it really started with the CEO shooting. I think when people turned around and said, like, based on the CEO shooting, and regardless of what your opinion is, I think that's when I started seeing people get a lot more violent. And then from there, I think it's just kind of tapered off. It kind of got out of control. But yeah, there was a copyright dispute that happened in Las Vegas where a guy rolled up to an IRL streamer and shot him in the head and killed his wife too. So, I mean, I'm just saying, it's pretty fucking scary right now. So I think it's probably better that stuff is said out loud to bring awareness to it. Yeah, for sure. That was awful. 100%. The Mudahar video was funny about it, though. I will say we did cover the Mudahar video about that. What did he say? That his mind was blown when he saw what happened in Las Vegas. And he issued an apology. He's like, "Oh boy, sorry guys for my verbiage," because he makes like OBS recording videos, and I guess it just didn't click that he opened up a video about a headshot with. Dude, I'm thinking like I saw a title of a video. This is a pretty hard segment, so we'll do a bit of a palate cleanser. I saw a video the other day that was called "Real Life Aimbot" or something like that, and I'm like, that's what Mudahar would call a video on true crime. Like, if he made a fucking video about how someone, like, shot and killed their wife, he would title that shit, like, Real Life Aimbot. I sat there, I was dying when I was just having a fucking giggle with myself in the middle of the night when I was reading that. He's wall hacking. That's some shit that Mudahar would put in, like, a very fucking high-profile thing. Yeah, so that's Hila Klein. Being terminally online, talking about politics in Israel-Palestine 24/7 broke his brain. He was like this before, just look about what he said Ukraine, which boils down to Ukraine deserves what's happening to it. There is so much untapped potential. I think that Willie was like the only one who really covered it, because we were going to cover it on my video. Like me and, I don't know if Tom was on at that point. It was like me and Tom thing. The Hasan Piker video has taken many forms for my channel that never released. And Turkey Tom was involved in like a lot of the planning, not like the planning for the actual video, but he was going to be involved in the video at some capacity. And a lot of that was going to be Ukraine. Like I was involving Dylan Burns. I was asking Chud Logic. I was trying to get like political people, because at that point Chud wasn't really a drama guy. He was more of a politics guy, to come in and kind of speak on it, because politics wasn't really my strong suit. As like a video essayist channel, it still isn't, right? But there was so much to talk about related to Hasan Piker Ukraine. I think this is a classic clip, no? We've seen this one before. It's Drew Pavlo with an iconic 39-second clip.
Doing one good thing, which is that, like, if you have these millionaire, billionaire, WASP fail sons, at least taking them out of other colleges so they can only do date rape to other billionaire, millionaire fail daughters is, like, in some respects, you know, from a utilitarian perspective, of course, a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like, taking these guys and putting them.
The reality is that Hasan Piker is not like an intelligent person. I think that's fairly obvious. I think that's kind of known at this point. Yeah. Again, the way that Hasan Piker has spoken about women his entire career, going back to like the early TYT days when he was talking about if they're old enough to mount, if they're old enough to count, they're old enough to mount, I think is the quote, right? Up until now, with like the clips that are resurfacing of Hasan Piker. I saw there's like a new one that's going around of him almost, I think, drunkenly talking about like peeping the nudes off of his phone and stuff. I mean, he's just like he's a repulsive fucking frat guy. I didn't realize that, isn't he like 30? Alexa, how old is Hasan Piker, the streamer? It doesn't know what.
From Wassel.edu. Moore wrote the words in 1805 and the song was...
Alexa, stop. Alexa doesn't know. Alexa, do you know who Hasan Piker is? Alexa, do you know who Hasan Piker is?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Alexa, do you know who Hasan Piker, the Twitch streamer, is?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
What the fuck? Alexa, do you know who Tipster, the YouTuber, is?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Did they remove YouTubers from Alexa? Because these things used to come up. Alexa, do you know who Ethan Klein is?
Ethan Edward Klein is an Israeli-American YouTuber, comedian, and podcaster.
No way.
He is the host of the H3 podcast. He first found fame with the YouTube channel H3H3 Productions, created by him and his wife Hila Klein.
Alexa, do you know who Bo Blacks is?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Yeah, they cleaned it up. Now, like, only, like, really notable figures are in there now. Because it used to have, like, fucking everybody in there. That's so funny. Dude. You know what the funniest one was? Who is the guy who was in Jan 6th? It was one of the right wing, like one of the fucking alt-right guys who got arrested during January 6th. He took a picture with Nancy Pelosi's phone. Like, it used to be just like an IBS person, but I don't remember who it was now. Baked Alaska. Oh, Alexa, who is the content creator Baked Alaska?
I don't know.
Yeah, they took him. They did something to Alexa because it used to have all these entries where it's like Baked Alaska is a neo-Nazi sympathizer, and January 6th, like, you just read through it. It was like the most, the most insane list of credentials possible when they were talking about him. Yeah, Amazon dropped him. Wait, Amazon is Alexa. Dude, Amazon literally fucking knows who fucking Ethan is, and they don't even know who Hasan. That's why he's not getting banned, dude. That's why he's not getting banned. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say that Hasan Piker is getting a little old to play frat boy, don't you think? At some point, do you think the frat boy, like it's like Belle Delphine, right? Belle's getting a little old to keep playing the 18-year-old girl. Hasan Piker is getting a little old to be the frat guy. I don't know. It's starting to get a little cringy. I think those are probably the same. Yeah. The permanent ban that anyone else would get for doing half of that. Oh no. Gotta move on to the MILF content. You can't take the boy out of the frat. That's the, yep, that's that clip. Hasan responds to Hila's Instagram story. So this is now Hasan hitting
Hasan
back.
Piker was exposed by my husband to be discussing creepers retaliated by calling for violence against me. Think back and you'll notice a trend when he wants.
Is he trying to read it as fast as possible so his chat doesn't hear it? This guy's hitting like the fast verse in Rap God so he doesn't have to repeat it.
Hasan Piker was exposed by my husband to be
You know what? He should just watch the content nuke on stream at 10. I got it, dude. This is how Hasan Piker needs to watch the content nuke so his audience can't understand any of the talking points. You guys know YouTube pushed a new update out? Content nuke. Dude, this is how he's going to do it. He's going to be like, all right, listen, I'll finally react to this right now. I'm going to pull this thing up. Content nuke Hasan Piker. Okay. Yeah. All right. All we need to do is set it to 4x speed, and then we use our, then we got to just use our plugin that we have here that can make it go even faster, right? And then we'll set the video to 10x, and then it's ready for Hasan Piker to show to his stream. Then he can actively engage with the content in like a reasonable fashion. Yeah, this is better. I think that he might like. I think the chat might be more receptive to these arguments. He could show it like that. I think he's making a lot of good points here, but I'm not really sure. Dude, you can actually watch this video in like a reasonable amount of time if you 10x it. What, you only have 2? If you have YouTube Premium, you get 4, and if you have an extension, you can go all the way up. Dude, it's all the way up. The XQC emulator, God.
Discussing creepers retaliated by calling for violence against me. Think back and you'll notice a trend when he wants to get at Ethan, he attacks me. This is just another glimpse into the psyche of a man who does not see women as equal. Okay, dude. This is literally girl bossing genocide defense.
Okay. And this is why Hasan Piker is such a lovable idiot. Because, like, he actually can make an argument here. Right? There is an argument to be made here. But then he just says that Hila Klein is girl bossing genocide defense. She's defending herself because she thinks that your comment could have put her in danger. Hila Klein has not committed the genocide. Hila Klein has not shot anybody. Hila Klein was a secretary who did one ride-along. Okay? It's just actually insane. And then the immediate stunned has nothing to say. Dead air that comes in every Hasan Piker thing. So obviously, Ethan's response here.
He does not see women as
girl bossing genocide defense. I'm sorry, what? Is it possible to respond without invoking her gender? Ironically, Hasan exhibit. I didn't even realize that. Oh no. Wait, I literally didn't even fucking realize that. So the whole thing is about how Hasan doesn't treat women fairly, and his response is just like, you're girl bossing it. That's like if somebody was like, Nick, you're being kind of misogynistic, and I just looked him in the eyes and I said, bitch, please, make me a sandwich. That's essentially what Hasan Piker's response was. That's extremely funny. I didn't lock in on that one. Yeah, Hasan touches briefly on the recklessness with nudes from his Snapchat, blames Destiny's community for making it a big deal. Again, this is why Hasan Piker is such an easy target. He just says stuff that's easy to fucking talk about.
the people that came into his community that like dramatically shifted his community. Because every now and then when I go on Reddit, like it shows up on my fucking main page, and the stuff that I see from the subreddit of a community that I was a part of, that I was like literally a fucking host on with the Leftovers podcast, the shit that they say about me on there is mind-boggling. Sometimes I read it and I'm like, is this fucking Steven Crowder subreddit? Like, what the hell's going on? They'll be like, Hasan is a Islamo supremacist. He hates Jews. He loves the Armenian genocide. He's a Turkish.
Does he ever see the clips that are attached to those statements, or does he think that these are just blanket claims?
Ultra nationalist. It's like, it's shocking.
He doesn't show any of it. Well, but this has always been like Hasan's strategy. We've been talking about this since like fucking January. He doesn't ever actually show the content that he engages with. This is actually like the actual Hasan defense. I don't know what the actual, like what the written down one is, but what he does, right, is he assigns like a couple of positions that he deems to be like absurd, right? Here is A, B, and C. They're absurd. And you know where I find them? The streamer Destiny's subreddit or Destiny's viewers have put this into the ether. Now, Destiny is code for disregard this because Hasan Piker has primed his audience for all Destiny-related criticisms for like the entirety of his career after their falling out. So when people hear something and they go, "Oh, that's a Destiny critique," his core audience then just logs out. They don't research it. They don't do more information. The Destiny defense that he uses is just enough to shut down the audience and shut down the claim. So now, in the future, if anybody targets Hasan Piker for any position on the Armenian genocide, be it Nick DeOrio, Turkey Tom, Ethan Klein, any of these other people, well, the audience is already primed that it's a Destiny defense. This is a Destiny talking point. They're talking to Destiny. Destiny wrote this. This is coming from his community. Right? That's the dismissal tactic. And it works over there. It legitimately works over there. It worked for years because nobody could have broken through Hasan Piker's community until Ethan Klein because they had a shared audience. That's why a lot more blows have been coming in the last year, and there were a lot of nothings prior to that. Like, there were controversies with Hasan. Hasan did go viral. There were things that broke through. Now everything is kind of landing. His shields are down, essentially.
It's lunatic behavior. And I'll see like people fucking defending Destiny in the subreddit being like, no, Hasan actually saw
Now that's the whistle right there.
unsolicited. Hasan received unsolicited news on a Snapchat. And that's somehow the same, if not worse, than what happened to Destiny, who was a real victim of this situation where he was like both non-consensually and consensually recording people that he was having sex with, and then unconsensual.
You know, it's like, oh, they're saying that I have bad takes on the Armenian genocide. Also, Destiny recorded. Like, you see what's happening here? This is the official defense. Is just pull up everything Destiny has ever said.
Really sharing it with random fucking Discord neo-Nazi e-girls that he wanted to fuck without telling anybody else that he was sharing this fucking revenge porn material. That's actually the same.
Like, it's like, Hasan, anybody who's like a rational critic of you probably agrees with all of this. The only thing this does is like feed his audience a reason to ignore everything that's being said.
If not, Hasan is worse, as a matter of fact. Like, that's the type of that is the type of mental gymnastics you only engage in if you have a deliberate attempt to actively put down an enemy of Sexpestiny while simultaneously bring up Sexpestiny as a viable alternative, which only leads me to believe that the community is entirely changed and all of those people are eventually going to fucking leave Ethan.
Yeah, it's not even like, so normally it's what we're used to hearing is, are you going to criticize my character and my friends? You know, there's an ongoing genocide, right? And children are dying. But in this case, it's like, how could you possibly criticize me when Destiny is distributing Pixie's nudes without her knowledge? Or I guess, sorry, videos without her knowledge. Like, there's so many bigger things going on right now. The cinematic universe of degenerates is much larger than you could even comprehend. It's like, this is just pathetic. This is fucking cringe. So yeah, I had posted the Asmongold clip, and I thought at that point this probably needed correcting in some capacity, because once it hit that, then all of a sudden my whole feed is like, Hasan calls for the immediate execution of Hila Klein, which is just not what happened. Hasan says there's not much he can do about the monstrous, awful sociopath. So now his argument is that, like, he's mad that Asmongold is talking about him.
Are you worried?
He's mad about everything but the actual things that people are upset about. It's funny.
No. Not really. What can I do?
He's mad that Asmongold is bigger than him because he was constantly like crying and bitching and moaning about how Twitch was like an open platform for everybody, and then a conservative actually made it past him. Because again, there was a time period where Hasan, the biggest political streamer on Twitch, was one of literally every other I think the biggest conservative streamers were just barely at the partner level or below, and then Asmongold one day decided to start watching Donald Trump speeches. Right? Like it was an entirely left-centric hug box for, it had to have been like 2 years. They just kind of banned all of the conservatives, right? It was like a lefty hug box, and specifically like getting to be like a far left hug box because, again, like I don't know if you can really compare IRI and Lonerbox to the size of Hasan Piker. It was kind of just like a Hasan Piker and Friends show. And then Asmongold just started watching Donald Trump, and now he's kind of second fiddle.
What can I do? There's nothing I can do. It is what...
Is this for like the one Twitch employee who's like frantically watching right now while he's supposed to be coding the site? You're supposed to be working on DMCA support. Sorry, I was watching Hasanabi.
What it is. Oh, well.
Guys, literally anything to... We're only 28 seconds into the clip, and I feel like 3/4 of it has been dead air. It actually damages my streams. We don't have this much dead air unless we're watching Hasan. Any minute now, buddy.
I do think that it's gotten worse.
Dude, it doesn't even sound like he's legitimately 1 HP here either. It sounds like he's like adding it up for dramatic effect.
Over time. And will only continue to be elevated by Asmongold and many other people like this who are just like awful, awful, monstrous sociopaths.
It's interesting, though, that he's playing the other side of this. They've been trying to get me banned for a while, so now I'm going to try to get them banned. The next thing I saw here was him pulling up Destiny's logs, which at this point I still haven't read them. We're going to read them now together. I think it goes down to up, right? Or, yeah, down up. Nameless Destiny say, feels weird, man. Cinema. Wow, lives matter. Put me in the screenshot. No, it has to be below. Is it top down? So Destiny had linked a clip, and I imagine it's the clip, saying, I honestly think you could perfectly justify attacking / blanking Hasan in real life for statements like this. So that's not a dog whistle either. That's also just saying it out loud. And what you do when you do this is you give Hasan Piker an opportunity to play a victim, and he is. Like, you can't... every part of this drama so far has been, oh, you're going to dox somebody? That's fine. I'll dox your entire extended group of friends. Or it's like, oh, you're going to fucking talk about, like... Dallas? Okay. Well, we're going to call... It just continues to escalate and escalate and escalate and escalate and escalate and escalate, and somebody's going to get killed. Somebody's going to get killed over this. It's kind of scary. That's the moral of the story. It's kind of scary. Yeah, it's been fucking ugly. It's been ugly since day one. People are like, Ethan Klein opened the door for doxing when he filed these lawsuits or targeted the snark mods. It's like, bro, Bad Empanada's been doxing since day one. It's probably why Hasan Piker didn't want to pal around with him prior to having an endless Ethan Klein video machine that he was willing to tap because none of the content creators on the commentary community agreed with him. But yeah, people are fucking crazy, dude. Destiny gave him a great moment to use a victim card. You want to see somebody... Like, we're sitting here talking about how a bad Asmongold clip can provide Hasan some defense. This shit is like a golden apple in Minecraft. If we're talking about in Minecraft defense. Like, do you think that any Hasan Piker chatter who's fringe, who might agree with any of your positions right now, is going to turncoat on this? You think they're going to read a message of somebody saying that you could literally kill Hasan Piker in real life, and they're going to go, wow, you know, I actually really sympathize with this guy? No, because Destiny is like a broken down, disgruntled entertainer who's living life in scorched earth mode now. And I don't even know why, because I think he's gaining viewership again. But it's not respectable. It's just kind of making it more difficult to criticize the guy when you do stuff like that. Yeah. The Forever Holy War. I mean, you're talking about no in real life. You're making reference to Sam Hyde. The Sam Hyde stuff. Like, you could literally play the Sam Hyde clip next to this, and it reminds me of like the Carl Jobst Billy Mitchell video, where it's like Billy Mitchell is obviously saying something in jest to take a dig at somebody. And Carl Jobst is actually extremely mad and looks pathetic. That's what I get here, right? You could play the Sam Hyde clip where he's like, Hasan Piker, I'm coming to kill you. But like, that's something you can look at. You're like, that's kind of funny. Like, I mean, I understand why he doesn't like it, but that's pretty funny. This is just Destiny being angry that he couldn't take down the illegitimate child that he spawned into the internet a couple of years ago. And that like, Hasan hasn't committed a Vosh-like sex scandal that boxes him off away from the rest of the internet. So maybe he will at some point. Who knows? Yeah. How much longer will YouTube allow this dude to stream? Spent years stalking me with his community. So that's the claim that came out. And again, it's just like, it's literally the same day that he created this whole Hila Klein controversy, and then Hasan starts playing the victim. So you see the clip of him talking about Asmongold and kind of pulling for that, saying the community's like harassing him. And now you see the clip where he's like, YouTube, you got to do something about Destiny. So now it's like a flag war too. If the killing stuff wasn't bad enough, now they're flagging YouTube channels. I think that's the worst part. So this was the tweet that I put out. And I think this is kind of what we've reiterated for the entirety of the stream. It's absolutely fucking reckless to be talking about current day. And I don't really care about what your position is on the region of fucking Gaza, because that's not necessarily the issue or necessarily the point. But like, and you can absolutely have issue with what he's saying in the clip from that context as well. I'm not like denying you that. But yeah, it's absolutely reckless to be talking about something in current day, making arguments about currently occupied Gaza, and then because you hate Ethan Klein, to like invoke his wife in the middle of that argument, strictly in past tense, and just move past it like nothing actually happened. Because yeah, absolutely, it could be interpreted as dog whistling. I don't think it is. Could be interpreted as dog whistling. It could be it could be read by a psychotic fucking person who goes out and does something fucking crazy. I think that if you're going to talk about stuff like this using real life examples, you have to be pretty clear about it. Yeah, 100%. You have to be pretty fucking clear about it. Especially when it's not like I made a joke one time about Hasan, because he had tweeted out the picture of a gun schematic to a sitting U.S. congressman or senator or something, right? Like he had tweeted out the gun schematic that we're going to see in a little while. And I think I made a joke retaliation because like they were saying stuff like, oh, this is just an edgy joke. Oh, this is allowed. Oh, this is an edgy joke. That's how his community was justifying it. So when they posted a picture at like TwitchCon or something, and I quote tweeted, I'm like, oh, I love edgy jokes. So I tweeted the IDF has like can do the funniest possible thing. And it's a bunch of streamers in like California or something, right? That was like a whole controversy because I tweeted the IDF can do the funniest possible thing. To this day, that tweet hasn't been removed. You know why? Because I don't fucking know the IDF, and the IDF can't do shit in fucking California or in Vegas or wherever TwitchCon is. I can't call the IDF and have them shoot a fucking intercontinental missile to blow them up. That's why it's like, that's edgy humor. Invoking and this isn't even humor, this is just him arguing a point and invoking somebody who's not currently in the region because he's mad at them, right? It's absolutely insanely reckless to do this, especially when it can be interpreted that way. Not just any gun. Well, yeah, it wasn't just the gun schematics. But why do you think he said it? I mean, I've explained that multiple times. I think he's brain broken by the controversy and wants to take every excuse he possibly can to talk about it in the context of still trying to justify that he's doing the right thing. I think that like Hasan Piker wants to continue covering the Gaza conflict and wants to continue to say he's above it, but it can't stop leaking out. He needs to stop talking about the starving children to talk about Destiny's kid on Twitter tweeting about conservative tactics. He can't talk about people occupying territory without chastising Ethan's wife to get under his skin. He can't talk like it's just constantly in the back of his mind. It's what he wants to talk about most and foremost. But he also wants to have this element of I'm better than you. Look at me, I'm saving the country, while these guys do like tons of genocide profiteering off of just like, oh, I'm fighting the good fight. We're watching bad empanada videos to save the children, because he needs to try to stay like morally ahead of you. Yeah. He works off of aloofness. Absolutely does that. But he's also fucking stupid. So it's a case where like, you know, the blonde girl stereotype where they're like, tee hee lol, I'm dumb. Some of them are actually fucking dumb and still play dumb, you know? It is possible that somebody does the tee hee lol, I'm stupid. Like Hasan Piker is literally isn't this the guy, that line, who just lies about people, right? He's the guy who will literally disavow Bad Empanada and platform him and just expect you to ask no questions about it whatsoever, right? I mean, that's what's happening here. Yeah, in my opinion, at least. So I said he's making a point about valid military targets of the IDF actively occupying the West Bank. He's invoking Hila Klein in the past tense to reference the ride along, but Palestine or supporters attacking her in California would not be an act of resistance, it would be offense. So again, we already went over this. I'm not going to lean into it too much right now because, again, this isn't the only issue here. This is just the one that we were talking about. I think Hasan is pretty careless here, but if your takeaway is that Hasan supports vigilante justice for Palestinians harming Hila Klein in California or current day, that's clearly not the point that he was intending to make. Then somebody said it doesn't help that he platforms BE and Noah, two people who have both threatened Hila in current day. Great point. It's also a great point as to why you wouldn't want to like take him out of context and risk losing yardage when you have such better arguments to work with. If you have fucking, if you could sit here and spit 15 good arguments back to me, then you don't need that one. You got more than enough. All the more reason to clip him in context and not overly embellished clips that can be defeated by quickly scrolling back. Bad Empanada exists is a good enough argument, and I think that's like fundamentally the main takeaway here. I do have, and we can go through some of it. It is agonizing, but we can go through some of the replies to this tweet because people were not happy. And I do think it's worth engaging and kind of going down the dialogue tree with like one or two of them. But yeah, like, so I had tweeted this and the entire intention here, literally the first thing is, I think this clip is reckless. The criticism stands. I've explained it thoroughly in the stream. And then someone called me an apologist. Like, I like Hila Klein. Hila Klein has come and given me money before. I feel bad for Hila Klein and I want to support her any way I can. I don't understand how this makes me an apologist, so I wrote back, apologize to my dick and balls, which was kind of an immature response, I will say. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't really know where that comes from at all. Yeah, he said IDF or settlers who are in non-combat zones. Attacking non-combat is legal in any way under any code of law. I go, my point is that Hila Klein is not occupying the West Bank in any capacity in current day. So it's not like a call to exterminate Hila Klein in current day. What you're saying is technically correct, but he equates Hila Klein with a current day IDF soldier or West Bank settler, the same way that he and his orbiters equate Jew with Zionist. He lays it out in terms of valid targets that don't describe Hila, but invokes Hila's name anyway. The whole context is that people who are currently occupying the West Bank illegally. So if you watch the whole video, he's making, the whole segment is watching a documentary or a video discussing illegal settlement in the West Bank. It's much more logical that he's talking about her as an example of someone who was a participant in a ride-along, as opposed to a current day military target. I understand people hate Hasan, but it is clipped weird. I think using her in general for the current day argument was reckless. And if you think that I'm wrong here, and if you think that I'm reaching, or if you think that I'm coping, or if you think that I'm giving you a bad response, then why didn't they include that in the clip? If the clip is so bad, even when I played the full context, that you still agree with the position that you had before, and you're not coping, then why couldn't they just add another 30 seconds in the front where you can hear exactly what he's saying? Why are we omitting context then if it's good enough? You're taking the time to get the full context to make a fair response. I actually saw this on Aiden's stream. That's where I got it from, Aiden Project stream. So it wasn't as nuclear as I feared. It's a double-edged sword. People have spent the last few hours defending what Hasan didn't say because they thought he did say it. This is fucking scary. Does it change anything that Hasan confirmed the clip was out of context? To which I said, no. I think this is the, yeah, here. Let's hear what he has to say from Destiny stream.
All right.
No.
Still dealing with the drama? Damn, sorry to hear.
The drama?
Both sides egg each other on. It's not a both sides situation. It's not.
Every Hasan Piker response is just 45 seconds of like, it's literally just silence from Destiny, silence from Hasan, silence from me, and somehow it just gets through.
It's not a both side situation at all. This is just one side actively choosing to lie about what the contents of the video openly states. Like,
this is why I absolutely fucking hate clips. Hasan Piker is confirming the clip is not out of context, and the first thing out of his mouth is they're openly lying about the context of the clip.
At this point, it has turned into, like back in the day, at least there was an attempt to clip something out of context, okay? Now it's turned into clipping things in context, but just seemingly lying about what the video is.
What the fuck is he talking about?
So if he's saying it's in context and then lying about the video, why would he have to lie about the... This is why Hasan Piker is fucking brain dead. Like, what do you mean lying about the context of the video?
And people's attention spans are shortened to such a degree that they don't even watch the video and try to understand it. It's so strange.
Like, he's arguing that people are misinterpreting the clip. So he's saying the clip is in context, just people are choosing to lie about it. Again, this is why Hasan Piker is such an easy target. You want to tell me this guy's a mastermind? He can't even defend himself properly. He is in some cases, in some situations, absolutely. But he's also a complete fucking idiot. What he said there literally doesn't make sense. How can you say it's reckless and stupid, but say he's making a point about valid military targets? It contradicts the statement and the one that you make in the first 30 seconds of your clip, hypocrite. So this one got like 83 likes. I never said his point is good. I literally, in the first 30 seconds of your clip, I literally didn't say that. And then people were just mad at me, so they just liked it anyway. Target is absolutely... All right, so I think it's pretty fucking obvious that Hasan Piker mentioning Hila Klein in current day while describing a valid military target is absolutely reckless and fucking stupid. That being said, there is additional context here that needs to be shown to provide what he's actually trying... Like, I literally called him reckless in the first 8 seconds to say in his argument. Because I noticed the clip starts pretty late, and this is probably why.
Current political...
What's the point of bringing her up? That's the reckless part. It's because he's a sad, pathetic fucking loser. And that could absolutely have negative repercussions on Hila. Yeah, I agree with that.
Leadership in Israel does not want...
And then I don't talk again for the first 30. So some guy just straight up lied. I don't know, man. How many clips do you need to say, yeah, this dude is nuts and is provoking violence? This dude pulled the gun, faker. But this is like the example that we talked about before. It's like, every time anybody points something out that's not true, they just blast you with one that did happen. It's like, yeah, I know that time that he pulled out a gun and threatened somebody was pretty bad. I don't know how that makes this context better for you, though. It's like, well, he did something bad in the past, so why can you engage with this and not just lie? No, and the issue, Nick, is someone like Hasan, you can only give him so many good faith interpretations before you have to hold his hand to the fire. Do you think that holding, by the way, is it hold his hand to the fire? Isn't it hold his feet to the flames? What is hold his hand to the fire? So apparently, after 6 bad comments, you can just smear somebody? Finally, somebody else got a statement wrong. I mean, these people are just so fucking stupid, dude. Like, these are just like, this is like a subhuman response. We have to go on my alt account because I mowed these accounts down and I can't even see these tweets anymore. But like, holy shit, dude. What are you talking about? If this guy says too many bad things, we can just lie about him with impunity? Would that make us no better than Hasan Piker, who literally does this to me? Yeah, I understand that like saying negative things about positive things about Hasan Piker is not going to stop him from coming out and smearing me in the future, right? I don't care. I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it because I want arguments to be better. Doesn't help that he platforms Bannon Panada and Noah. It makes it worse to clip him out of context when Bannon Panada is already a slam dunk. Shamu. Again, like, if Ethan Ralph is the beacon of justice on this fucking topic, then like I don't really know what you're supposed to... I don't know what you're supposed to do. You kind of lost the plot here. Ethan Ralph called this from before even I did it. Yeah. 100% in the wrong here. He said the wife of your favorite streamer in the present. But if you listen to the clip, he's saying, like, in the past. Yeah, 100%. The white, like, dude, the white, like, yeah, it's obviously in the past if you listen to the clip. I don't know. Bro, you're being way too, I don't think I am. He's carelessly consulting, listening to his chat. I don't know. There was one more of these that I singled out because I thought it was funny, and I just wanted to establish this very simply. So somebody had tweeted the weird, and then this is going for anybody in the chat, so if this falls under your thing, thank you for your service. I appreciate you being on the stream. I'll see you out now. This is the weirdest thread I ever seen transpire. That's the thread we just looked at. I really enjoyed following you, but I have to say, unfollowed. Best of luck to that with the context in Hasan. He's still going to call you a fat pedophile all day. If this is your position... If you think that correcting... And again, they're implying that the context is real and that Hasan doesn't, quote-unquote, deserve the defense of being taken in context and criticized accordingly. If your position is that you can't correct context about people that you don't like, otherwise you're going to leave, I legitimately think that your money is worth less to me. I think that your donation is worth less money. I think that, like, as a viewer, I feel taxed by your presence. And I'm happy to see you go. That's ultimately where I stand on this. I said you're worthless as a viewer and a supporter if you're incapable of parsing something that simple. If you're jumping off the ship because I corrected a pretty obvious context omission, that would benefit Hasan Piker. That would benefit Hasan Piker on the long term as he continues to dismiss claims against him. I think your donations to my streams are retroactively worth less. I don't want accolades for seeing an Aiden Project stream and realizing nobody fact-checked a new viral clip. I want assholes to stop taking the most malicious active streamer out of context and endlessly justifying it. He literally uses examples like this to dismiss all criticism all the time. You're making it harder to hold this fucking person accountable for anything. And then the tweet got deleted. And then the person came back, I think, and they said like, and then someone was like, Nick, don't you think it's a bad idea to go after one person? No. I think if you don't want to be responded to on social media, then you shouldn't tweet at me. Because I think this was a good person to choose as a target to talk about in front of 3,000 people on stream. And if you have a problem with that, then you should probably criticize Ethan Klein when he reads people's fucking Instagram posts live on stream, because that's kind of the nature of the game. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where the tweet was in response to this. We did reply to it. I don't know where it went. He immediately conceded. Only not, yeah. I don't know why I can't respond to the original comment because you deleted it. But I wasn't disagreeing with you or your breakdown. My issue is that he dragged Hila's name into it. That's not, no. That's not the context. It's reckless. It's like the first sentence is me saying it's reckless. So you just agree with it and you're mad that I corrected the context. I mean, yeah, at that point, bye. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. I'm supposed to lose viewers when I say that, not gain viewers. But ultimately, yeah, if you can't parse basic information like that. And again, I am not shitting on anybody who says that they think it's a dog whistle. I don't think it's a dog whistle, but that's better than saying he explicitly called for her death, which he did not. The Hasan posts are off of LSF. I thought I had them up to the stream. So I had tweeted support for Hila Klein is pivotal right now. Oh, dude, I actually think I need to grab this link. You need to see what the fuck is on this tweet. You legitimately need to see this. Look at the quote tweets. All I did was tweet out, like, support for Hila Klein, which I think is totally fine. I think you're a complete fucking loser if you have a problem with this tweet. Goyslop commentary YouTubers are a waste of oxygen. Fat retard crying about the ugliest bitch getting harassed. And this is just justification to my argument as to why this is like a thing that needs to happen. You know, the world has to get nuked because fat retard commentary YouTubers think they deserve to live. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she needs it from strangers because her own brother kicked her to the curb. I actually did respond to this one. And I said that he has to live with that rat monster, Trisha Paytas, which got pretty good hits. But, support for the horse-faced Nazi settler is pivotal right now. IDF sympathize. There's not like a single positive comment right now. I'm a Zionist now. Support Eva Braun. She's Hitler's wife. Okay, that's a good one. Who do we support? Relocating settlers with shitty clothing lines or starving Palestinians doing the meme like in real life. I support something, but not something she would like. So I assume that's like a dog whistle. Honestly, that's like closer to a dog whistle. I gotta be honest with you. But yeah, just the reply. And I added the context to this as well, but it doesn't take away from the fact that like people have been extremely bloodthirsty. It's discussing it. Okay, this is actually a cause. Yeah, so this is Ethan Ralph pointing out the extra context stuff. I didn't see it. I'd fuck her, but that's as far as my support goes. Let's see. You have to kind of scroll down here to see some stuff. What else do we got here? Oh, this is actually pro. Yeah, okay. Touch grass, weirdo. Hila Klein doesn't get enough support. As you get down, it starts to get a little, yeah, fuck her. I mean, you don't have to like her, but we should never support a Jew. Fuck off, evil genocidal freak. All you do is fuel anti-Semitism. Jew, no thanks, bro. Mumbly, unrepentant terrorist. I made a voodoo doll of Hila. I'm giving it hugs and kisses to show my support. It looks like the fucking chocolate thing from fucking... Like, I remember when they first invented chocolate. I always hated it. Yeah, that's that. No, she's a Jew. Hope she dies a horrible death. You mean the Raider of Ramallah, which was a... I mean, this is just like... we need the people to deal with her. You don't help by saying that Hasan wasn't calling for her death. Okay, that's cool. Only N-words and F-slurs care about this. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see. Totally agree. Zionist simping for Nicholas DeOrio. Fuck that nasty K-slur. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a pretty fair tweet. I stand by it. I stand by the tweet. I stand by the support for Hila Klein. Now, Hasan clarified the comment, saying, when anyone joins an occupying force and participates in a raid in an illegally occupied territory, the occupied people have the legal right to defend themselves through armed struggle. This right does not extend to outside of combat. People framing this negatively should take it up with the UN. So then Hasan posted like a clarifying tweet. I don't know the time that this was posted, but he clarified his statement here eventually. Eventually, Hasan Piker went off stream and said what he actually meant on fucking Twitter, which was probably a smart decision for the smallest head streamer. If he had a bigger head, the brain might function. So this is now, he doesn't want to talk about Hila anymore because now Destiny has called for his death and efficiently made him the victim in the situation somehow, which I appreciate Destiny for doing.
Well, I don't know if you noticed this, but the terminally online gossip slop entertainment is being used as a vehicle to try to deplatform me for doing exactly that. And not only that, but also it has led to people issuing active death threats to their communities again.
So like, I'm going to go on stream and say, this is cringy, lol, haha. But like, his audience is going to eat this up off the floor.
It's me. So I think it's a little bit different than just like immature.
You don't have to follow his narrative. It's obviously lies. Destiny said that he thinks that you could perfectly justify attacking and killing Hasan Piker.
For online
It's not a lie.
gossip slop. At what point does it turn into like a real crime? I think this is the point where it has turned into a real crime. But
I think it's cringe. His audience doesn't.
will you consider it to be something beyond online gossip slop when I either get deplatformed or when I get killed, potentially, by a psychotic cult fan? I mean, that's a death threat. If I can't be upset.
Someone in chat just had a good point. Is there any messages before that? I was under the assumption that it goes down, but it appears that that's not the case. So that is the first message I'm seeing. Now, if there is, could be a bad dog whistle. Could be a bad legitimate statement. Could be more context. I could be a hypocrite in that regard. I'd love to see it.
About
It is worth noting, though.
active death threat, what can I be upset about? If an active death threat is considered gossip slop online.
What it did do was give Hasan Piker a vessel to do that. But I wouldn't put it past Hasan Piker to clip something out of context as well. It's really two sides of the same coin. Now, we're going to hear what Ethan Klein has to say, who published a public video on this just prior to going live today. Apparently Ethan Klein changed up the show a lot. I found out that apparently he's no longer doing the drama on the show and it's going to be funny stuff, but somehow I still have topics I want to cover in the stream. So I don't know if they succeeded in that regard, but I'm guessing they're making the show shorter now. It's essentially the length of like a Nicholas DeOrio VOD segment. I assume that's to get like more views because these things being 6 hours or 3 hours or 5 hours isn't very clickable. But yeah, I don't know. Now, I heard they changed it up, but there's still stuff I want to watch in it, so I don't know if they did a good job of changing it up.
Sunday afternoon, I'm relaxing with my family, and I get a text from a friend with a link to a video in it, and it's a video of my good old friend Hasan Piker claiming that my wife Hila would be a valid military target. Let's take a look.
DFLP, PFLP, or even former Fatah militants, okay? It is perfectly legal, perfectly valid, and perfectly moral. Okay? 100%. This is not like this is not a gray area. This is black and white. Okay? It doesn't get more black and white than this. Israel is in the wrong. Israel is actually engaging in an apartheid, which is a crime in and of itself. Israel's doing a genocide in Gaza and an apartheid in the West Bank.
At this point, we've heard this clip like 16 times, but yeah.
Crimes in and of itself. And every
Yo, Nathan Barnett, Dad, we got you coming up in a second, actually, buddy. We're gonna check out your stuff. Congratulations on your new show.
every type of armed resistance against both the settlers and also the Israeli occupying force in the West Bank. Doesn't matter if it's your favorite podcasters like Wife that participate in the Israelis. Doesn't matter if
So
actually, can I teach you guys something really quickly before we get into this? I want to just give you the opportunity to know how you can find these clips very quickly. Because a lot of people don't realize that in a clip like this, okay? Because I mean, I want my audience to know this. Maybe 1% of you will actually do it, but it'll make my feed better if you do, right? If you go to Hasan Piker's Twitch page right now, okay, you can see that came from Strum Dog, right? If you see Hasan Piker's Twitch, because my audience doesn't use Twitch, they don't know what the fuck's going on. You can sort by clips, and you can look for this Strum Dog clip. There's not a lot of Hasan Piker clips to work with here, but there are some. And you click on this one, and this is called Legal and Moral.
More black and white than this.
And this is the clip that you're seeing in like full HD. So sometimes if you'll see like a yeet tweet and you want it in higher quality, you could just nab it. Right?
Israel's in the wrong.
If you want to put yeet tweets in 1080p, I'll kiss you on the lips if you do that. I'd appreciate it. But there's a cool feature of Twitch clips that don't exist when you find them on Reddit or on Twitter. You click the watch full video button, and then you hit the arrow twice to the left. And you don't have to do a lot of research here. This is not like a really difficult procedure. If you're wondering, is this clip too good to be true? Am I perpetuating something that will help Hasan Piker? You hit the big fucking button, you hit 2 arrow clicks to the left or 2 arrow clicks to the right, and then you can find out exactly what was said. It's very simple.
Every type of armed resistance against both the settlers and also the Israeli occupying force in the West Bank. Doesn't matter if it's your favorite.
All right, we heard the clip.
So Hasan has been trying to claim that he meant only people during the raid would be legit to exact violence on.
And I appreciate Ethan for immediately saying that. That makes this reaction a lot easier.
But even if it's true that that's what he meant, why is he making it sound like she escaped justice? Wouldn't that...
I agree. That is a fine point.
That justify a form of justice catching up to her, right? It's something she has coming, right? Why even include a specific person who hasn't served in the military in 20 years? Why does he mix up past and present tense?
Yeah, I think when you're talking about killing people as an act of war, you should probably not like make reckless fucking arguments in the middle of your discussion. I think Ethan Klein is totally justified to feel that way. While
he's discussing this. You know, is this a responsible use of his words and his platform? Don't you think that...
Do you think Ethan Klein would have opened with that argument if there wasn't a discourse on Twitter about it when he was editing the video? Maybe. Maybe not. And if I contributed in 1% of the way, I'm happy to do so, because I didn't want to open up a video where Ethan Klein is saying... Hasan Piker is calling for my wife's death in current day. I didn't want to open that video, and I'm glad I didn't have to.
Even if what you're saying is true, and you meant only people on that raid...
Because at that point, the discourse is lost. It's gone.
Even if what you're saying is true, and you meant only people on that raid would deserve violence, that invoking a specific person is really appropriate and true. And doesn't that have the risk... for provoking the craziest...
What he's trying to say here is this feels like stochastic terrorism, that he's stoking flames here, and he's invoking somebody in a context that's not really applicable. The entire sentence is current day. He's pulling a person who's past tense, person who's not currently there, to just kind of weave it in as a jab. That's what it is. It's like, doesn't matter if your favorite fucking podcast host did what he wanted to say more verbally, like what I think he wanted to say, and like if he expanded on it, doesn't matter if your favorite podcast host only went on one ride along. Okay, they could have shot and killed her too, is what he wanted to say. That's what he wanted to say.
People in your audience to think that maybe it would be a good idea to kill my wife, right? Like, what are we talking about, dude? And also, Hila was a secretary, okay? Him and all of his friends here, they're trying to invoke the image that Hila was somehow some... commando that was constantly going.
And if you want to argue that he's being unhinged here for saying that like they're trying to paint Hila Klein as a commando, well, they're literally calling her the Raider of Ramallah or Ramadan or some fuck, whatever the fuck the place is, in all the Bad Empanada videos. How many of the Bad Empanada videos have fucking Hasan Piker directly promoted on the channel or watched on the stream? Do you think any of them mention it? I'd be shocked if they didn't, but ultimately, Hasan Piker has literally explained the danger of platforming Bad Empanada and then chose to weaponize him like an attack dog for the remainder of the year. And he is literally like the leading expert in calling Hila Klein out for this stuff and fabricating things to attack her with.
Into raids and kidnapping people in their sleep. She was not in a combat role. She was a secretary. She never fired a bullet outside
Samoa Bob, you're wrong, Nick. Hasan said exactly what he wanted to say. He said it that way on purpose. I mean, like, okay, biting my tongue on that one. It's a feelings-based argument that you're rebutting with me. Well, I feel like that's what he wanted to say. Okay. I mean, good for you. I don't know.
of basic training. Okay.
I'm on expert mode right now.
Okay. And Hila's what these people always dream about. She's an Israeli Jew that left Israel. She's an American citizen of 15 years now, a mother of 3. This is the idea of the perfect Israeli, one that leaves. Despite all that, Hasan is suggesting that it would be a moral victory for someone to murder her. This is actually the 4th or 5th time someone has directly called for violence against me or Hila on Twitch since October 7th.
And again, that is not an inaccurate statement. They have literally been consistently talking about beating Ethan with sticks, talking about killing them. Like there is a literal pattern of behavior talking about fucking harming him physically on this fucking platform. So, I mean, I can't really blame him. I'm sorry. I've had donos muted for a while. I'll unmute them. But yeah.
And so far, none of these people have been punished for making these threats. And I don't expect Hasan to meet any repercussions for this either.
Keffel's appreciated.
Right?
Shout out.
And Hasan himself has a troubling history of calling for political violence. Here,
And again, here, that's the gun. There's the gun.
is the infamous tweet he made to Tom Cotton, a sitting...
And by the way, I think the gun has a place in this argument. It just doesn't have a place justifying your wrong argument. Ethan Klein is making a correct argument here, at least the way that I view it. I don't really see an issue with what he's saying. So now invoking more examples that fit the position that he has here is strong.
Congressperson, and no matter what you think about Tom Cotton, what Hasan tweeted is...
Now, I think that gun specifically, forgive me if I'm wrong, was the gun that was used to kill somebody else, right? Like, that was the schematics they drew up of somebody's homemade gun they used to shoot and kill somebody. It was like a timely reference that Hasan Piker made, saying, look how easy it is to build this thing. Like, that is an absolute... Like, you want to see... Like, I don't even know, maybe that's too far to be a dog whistle, but, like, it seems like he's just like, you can make this in your house.
It's fucking mad. This is
the Asian prime minister. I remember that, yeah, because didn't it get through like a, I don't know if that got through like because I don't know, maybe you couldn't have guns or something.
Gun that a vigilante used to...
Japanese prime minister, yeah.
Assassinate Shinzo Abe, former prime minister of Japan. This is the schematics, the exact gun he...
I mean, maybe that's where it started. Maybe I keep going after the healthcare CEO shooting. Maybe it started with the fucking Japanese prime minister getting shot and killed with a homemade gun. I'm telling you, at some point, after David Hogg stopped talking about how the guns are going to destroy our country, these leftists got increasingly fucking violent. I don't know, dude. Somewhere along the line, one too many school shootings broke these people, and now they're all fucking arming up.
Used to assassinate this guy. So, I mean, he is directly...
There was one too many tweets about how you can't take our guns because we have too many of them, and now all of a sudden they're just out here justifying shooting people in the streets.
Suggesting that somebody make this gun and start killing politicians. There's no other way to interpret this. But nothing seemed to really happen from that. This is his most recent one where he's saying somebody should kill Rick Scott.
There's about $50 billion estimated that are lost every year in Medicaid, just in fraud alone.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott, okay? You wouldn't make Rick Scott, former governor of Florida, Rick Scott, you wouldn't make him a prominent part of the Republican Party.
There's about 50.
Now, what he's supposedly arguing there, right? And this is after the healthcare CEO shooting, right? That you would kill his like run. Wasn't it like you would dead him? But he's using the word kill Rick Scott in this context at this time. It's absolutely insane to fucking word it like that.
This is once again Hasan referring to
But that feels like an actual fucking dog whistle.
A sitting congressperson looking straight into the camera and saying, kill Rick Scott.
Like, end his run is probably what he was trying to say. But that would sound like a fucking dog whistle to kill Rick Scott, yeah. Person
looking straight into the camera and saying, kill Rick Scott. Of course, He'll explain it as,
And again, Ethan provides the context.
Rick Scott committed some Medicare fraud and yada, yada, yada. But
And associating with Kill Rick Scott, associated with Medicare around the time of the CEO's shooting. Like, this is like a really stupid thing to do in front of 40,000 people.
again, he has a massive platform and a responsibility to choose his words carefully. He can't be doing this and then also claim that he's
Bro, he literally linked a picture of that gun. Not to Rick Scott! Not to Rick Scott, but that was to Tom Cotton. All these guys have the whitest fucking names.
against political violence. It's just not what he's exhibiting.
Again, but like, at what point is it dog whistling and at what point is it Fed posting? You know? I mean, that's probably closer to Fed posting than dog whistling, right? These are not like secluded. Like, dog whistling used to mean that like there was an edgy fucking alt-right guy on the podcast saying some, you know, like some little wink wink nudge nudge shit. Now it's just like, I don't think looking into the camera saying kill Rick Scott is considered dog whistling.
And once again, there was a recent example of
What is Fed posting? Being so obviously unhinged that people think you're a federal agent trying to impersonate someone doing a fucking, like, an op. Like, Fed posting is like, you're a federal agent, that's why you're acting that way. It's like, does anybody else want to kill this person? Haha, right, guys? Wouldn't it be cool just to kill this person? It's like, that guy's a fucking cop. That guy's glowing.
him sitting next to
You thought I said Fent posting? It might as well be.
the great Taylor
It's train whistling.
Lorenz, laughing about how an official was forced to resign after receiving death threats. He's applauding it. Go ahead.
874.
Dude, this one is a brand new clip. I have never seen this. Hasan sounds like he's fucking obliterated. Like he just had the hardest Brad taste in music weed of his life. Quote laced. And he's just fucking done.
Death threats. He's applauding it. Go ahead.
874. Bellevue Drive, and I'm gonna kill you with my AR-15. Like that's the type of messages they were leaving in this dude's.
Oh yeah, bro? 52. What is it? Oh, fuck, I forgot. Is it like 5232 Wantabo Apartment 6? Yeah. Your boss is gonna need me.
Of the dude's office, and he's
This guy just Walter Whited this dude.
resigning. Like he's literally, this is his last term. So I think that people are a lot more radical
Death
now.
threats.
This is an unprecedented time to really get others on board, to explain to them that it's not your neighbors, it's not like a Guatemalan migrant that is responsible for all the shit that you're going through on a daily basis. Not
And is it really a surprise that the musical people terrorist supporter guy is like pro death threat? Is that like a surprise to anybody?
trans person. I think this is a unique opportunity to get even Devers and Barbas on board with that, like White Wymons. And you actually wrote about this, and it was a great video where you talked about, you know, someone has to do it. See, when I say that, everyone knows exactly what I mean. That which is, I think that shows that.
Yeah, no, dude, no bad tactics, only bad targets is used in like apparently the literal sense on this stream.
There's a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, and untapped potential, untapped revolutionary potential, as a matter of fact. And it's a great opportunity for organizing, I think.
Like, why is it's an open and shut case when Noah Sampson says that we need to escalate these protests, but Hasan Piker gets a lot of leeway with I don't know.
These unprecedentedly horrible.
Maybe it's because Noah Sampson is dumb enough to say it out loud without any kind of cause or justification for his argument. Maybe it's because he's legitimately stupid enough to just say what he really means, and he's not smart enough to dog whistle it.
Fine.
So when he says someone has to do it, he's referring, of course, to the act of assassinating the president. Now, I hate Trump as much as any other lib, but I am not.
But bro, you can't even tell me. Some people in my chat would participate in this. If Donald Trump was actually fucking assassinated tomorrow, Twitter would not see that as an escalation. Twitter would be literally, and Twitter is like a right-wing platform now. There would be so much justification for that too.
I do not want anybody to kill the president. I don't think that would help. I think
It's a no bad tactics, only bad
You could have milked
targets.
that so much harder. Big
Arms
content
race
strategy
now for
problems here,
fucking
Nick. I'll help you maximize
for
your money,
violence,
all
and
right?
it's really fucking scary.
that would probably not help. But that's the point. That's what Hasan, he doesn't want it to help. He wants to collapse society, frankly, so he can, usher in this revolutionary period. Do you guys know what stochastic terrorism is?
Holy shit, dude! He's got that's how you say it. Stochastic terrorism.
You hear this
It's fantastic.
term thrown around a lot, but let me define it for you. Stochastic terrorism refers to the public use of inciting rhetoric, often vague or coded, by an influential figure to provoke violence from a predisposed individual or group, with the perpetrator able to plausibly deny responsibility for the resulting violence. It is a form of political violence where the instigator's actions are not a direct call to violence, but rather a calculated use of language that is statistically likely.
This guy just dictionary.com us in real time. Ethan, if you're gonna make a fucking edited video, can you just put the definition on the screen? That's my biggest criticism for this so far. Which is nice, by the way, after that segment. But can you just put the fucking definition on the screen?
To incite violence and a suspected individual. This is, when I read this, it kind of blew my mind, because this describes
Hold on, wait.
an instigator often view. Stochastic terrorism is. You hear
Alexa, can you define stochastic terrorism?
this term thrown around a lot,
Dictionary.com.
but let me define it for you.
Public speech that may
Stochastic
reflect
terrorism
violence,
refers to the
even without
public
that
use of
specific
inciting
intent,
rhetoric,
has been given
often
the name
vague or
stochastic terrorism.
All right, Alexa,
or
stop. It's
terrorism.
not the same definition. Your joke didn't work.
the kind of language that, in his own words, by the way, cast. I think he is this is it, In his own words, by the way, and very ironically, Hasan said this to me when I was on his podcast.
I think he is a narcissist. I mean, when you watch that
Yeah.
video, the narcissism rage at CoffeeZilla was insane, because his video was
Dude, Pyrocynical became chatted out, dude. What the fuck happened? Dude, I've been seeing Pyro doing some other stuff. I didn't know Pyrocynical got fucking... He filled out.
It's posturing now.
I love-
If you're going to
no,
court,
he was so wrong about everything.
yeah, but listen, if we've learned anything about the court of public opinion, it is deny, deny, deny. If you let on any kind of, I should apologize for this, then the
Dude, Pyro got jacked. When did this happen?
mob, then the whole
On the keto diet?
board has something to latch their teeth into. If you go with the Donald Trump school of medicine, no, you're simply wrong. What do you think you see in court? People go, oh, there might be something.
Dude, Nick, he looks exactly the same. He just doesn't talk with the stupid accent anymore. Thank you, Zach.
Oh, you're simply wrong. What do you think you see in court? People go, oh, there might be something to that.
Yeah, you
Dude, guys, you wanted me to cover Pyro. We got it.
deny, you deflect, and then you counterattack the person who launched this investigation on you, and you try to claim that there's a hidden bias there. And
It's what he's doing to Destiny in current day. It's deny, deflect, and now talk about how Destiny is. But again, you know who gives him an opportunity to do that? Destiny. Destiny literally walks into it like a rake. Destiny walks into rakes on purpose because he doesn't care, and he makes things difficult on everybody else.
most lizard brain dipshits who love you unconditionally will go, oh, finally I have an out to defend this person, right?
Now, even when he told me that, I was thinking in my head, you've thought a lot about this. I haven't thought about it this that deep. And if you go back, though, every time Hasan is accused of something, this is exactly what he does.
Ooh, get
This
him.
is his playbook. Never apologize. Always double down. Always accuse your accusers of being hallucinating, crazy, etc. This is exactly...
Destiny, dude, no, Hasan treats his audience and haters and detractors like Destiny treats his women. No, you're crazy. You're unhinged. You're losing it. You're out of your mind. That's not happening.
your accusers of being hallucinating,
I didn't mean women. I meant orbiters.
crazy, etc.
Strictly, what is it called?
This is exactly his playbook. Since Hasan and many of his friends
Strictly platonic orbiters
have employed this violent rhetoric against me and my family, me and Hila rarely leave our houses or make public appearances because of the constant and overwhelming sense of danger. The last 2 years, we've spent more time inside.
He's right. I think there was a pop-up thing that they were doing, and they didn't attend it. They were like, sorry, we're not going to be there, but you might meet, the crew? I don't know.
Than ever before. And we haven't.
Also, you know what's really fucked up recently? I gotta call out fucking Klein's audience here. I have been seeing an increasing amount of fucking whiny, pathetic posters on the subreddit begging the crew to get involved. Like, do you fucking see what's happening? Somebody saw this, and their first thing that they went and said was that there needs to be unrelenting vocal support for Hila after the most recent comment from Hasan Piker. Do you fucking read what's happening right now? These guys are already in the crossfire. Why the fuck do you want AB to, like, be even more in the hot seat for this? At the end of the day, these people are employees. If Ethan feels like his employees are not defending him enough as like friends or something like that, that's like a personal thing for Ethan and Hila. You don't have to make that decision for them. You don't have to assume that like they're backstabbing Ethan or Hila. Obviously, this sucks all around for everybody involved, but like demanding that these people step out and jump in front of a truck here, or, even more so than they already are. I mean, obviously there's a reason why they're silent during these segments, and I don't think you can just assume that means they don't agree.
We stopped doing our biannual live shows, right, for over a year because of the fear of violence being enacted not just on us, but on our fans and our crew. This, by the way, is resulting in the crew directly losing money, as these live shows, we would donate the entire box office to the crew. And we did this twice a year. It was a significant source of revenue for them.
Hey, it's fucking parasocial. It's extremely parasocial to think that you can call the shot there on that one, or to think that you understand their personal relationship better than they do.
Your accusers of being hallucinating, crazy, etc. This is exactly his playbook. Since Hasan and many of his friends have employed this violent...
Someone's like, you're not just supposed to sacrifice yourself for your job. Yeah, I'm sorry. The H3 podcast isn't feudal Japan during World War II when a loss means you have to impale yourself on your own sword like the Green Goblin's glider, okay? I'm sorry. It's really not that deep.
Rhetoric against me and my family. Me and Hila rarely leave our houses or make public appearances because of the constant and overwhelming sense of danger. The last 2 years, we've spent more time inside than ever before. And we stopped doing our biannual live shows, right, for over a year because of the fear of violence being enacted not just on us, but on our fans and our crew. This, by the way, is resulting in the crew directly losing money, as these live shows, we would donate the entire box office to the crew. And we did this twice a year. It was a significant source of revenue for them that's now been shut off.
That's like the pirate software thing, but imagine if the crew was donating money. Imagine if there was a hype train and AB was on an alt account boosting the revenue from it.
Out of fear. We've been forced to hire a full-time guard at the office because everyone in the office was feeling unsafe. And me and Hila are both waiting for our concealed carry license so that we can finally feel safe in public again.
I mean, listen, everyone's arming up right now. I think that's a good idea.
Which is not easy to get in California, and it's going to take like over a year probably.
You guys hated Hila Klein being in the IDF so badly, you put a gun back in her pocket in California.
Probably. And I usually choose not to talk about this stuff because the provocateurs who will revel in it, because this is their goal, right? They want me to be afraid. They want me to be in my house. They want me to avoid doing public events. They want me to cower. So this is very much giving them what they want. However,
but this is the part where I'm supposed to victim blame and get on stream and go, you should have just ignored it. You should have just said nothing. I don't know. I think this is a bit bigger than just a regular YouTube. This is a bit different than your average YouTube conflict.
Nicholas
in this moment, I do feel
the
entire
shout-out.
context of how language like this affects me and my family and my crew and everybody around me. Twitch has served as the most prolific source of leftist radicalization, terrorist propaganda, and anti-West sentiment.
I gotta be honest, the worst thing that happened to Twitch, I agree with Hasan Piker, was Asmongold. Because if Asmongold was not making conservative content, making like right-wing adjacent political content, the argument is so much stronger because I don't think an Asmongold can grow organically. I don't think a guy can just start watching fucking Trump shit and get to his size. It had to be a gamer who crossed over. But ultimately, like it's like insurmountable to get to his position. right now is like a new streamer in the politics community, and it makes Hasan like kind of sit here and agonizingly watching it happen. But it would be a stronger argument to say that it's like a Hasan Piker friend haven if someone like Asmongold wasn't earning him.
They foster, they elevate, they protect the most dangerous and inflammatory voices. And it's obvious to anyone paying attention that Twitch is being run by ideologues that agree with Hasan. And it's obvious to anyone who's paying attention, they use the terms of service as a form of political activism by harshly punishing people that they're opposed to and granting near total impunity to their allies like Hasan. The CEO has even stated on a record that Hasan is his favorite streamer. In the past, there's been a coordinated pressure campaign against Twitch advertisers with some success, but the
like right now, 1 in the chat, 2 in the chat. We're gonna make an edgy boy fucking question here. Obviously, I disavow. Obviously, I don't want to invoke this. Obviously, do you think that if something did happen to Hila Klein, not Hila Klein, let's use Ethan for an example here. I don't want to invoke anything with Hila because she's obviously got a lot going on. Let's say if something happened to Ethan Klein here, do you think the overwhelming consensus is that on social media is going to be one of mourning, one of regret, one of how did it get this bad? Or is it going to be one of justification? I'll do a regular poll. If something bad happened, if some Fed posting argument happened to Ethan Klein, do you think it'll be one of doubling down or one of regret? So I'm going to start a poll. Q is the question. I'm not going to write it. So one will be doubling down. Double down. 2 will be regret for this context, and we'll check that at the end of the segment. I want to pull that.
Entire Twitch executive team remains protected despite the head of inclusive marketing. The head of inclusive marketing once tweeting out, what is the difference between a Boy Scout and a Jewish kid?
This was like the biggest thing that Dan Saltman found. Actually, was this the one that Dan found? Dan found the one that was like previously fired. Was this the reason why they were fired?
And I'll
there'd be an equal amount? I don't think so.
Give you a hint as to
I'm gonna assume Nick means Twitter. Yeah, Twitter.
The answer. It's only
I count as one person on Twitter. My chat doesn't necessarily count as an entity.
One returns from camp. What's the difference between a Boy Scout and a Jewish kid? Only one returns from camp. The head of inclusive marketing
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the thing that Dan Saltman found.
At Twitch. Now, this person, as far as I'm aware, has faced 0 administrative correction and continues to this day to hold her position as head of inclusive marketing at Twitch. The irony is so...
Well, Ethan Klein's a real nasty Ethan Klein is a real nasty combination of being a vocal person who won't concede against Israel and being a Jew. And that comes with 2 different things. That comes with the right hating you, like the far right hating you, and that comes with the far left hating you. And there's like very few people in the middle. We were talking about Brad on Half Baked today, and I thought it was hilarious. They're gonna they're gonna literally poke around in his brain to see exactly what part was the thing responsible for making him concede and say like Viva la Palestine on Twitter while also mentioning that like Hamas killed his fucking family. That was like the craziest thing. You guys,
Nicholas, the goat.
Twitter bullied Brad Taste in Music after going to talk to Ethan Klein about like, and Hila Klein about like how hard it is to be a Jew in America. To like within a week tweeting out like, I know Hamas killed my family, but it's free Palestine or something.
Thick. You could.
Scientists are going to look to see what that was to see if they can replicate that for the rest of them.
Cut it with a knife. Now, while some sponsors have no doubt left, there's still enough remaining that Amazon has not been forced to intervene. And I would encourage anyone using Twitch to contact advisors as soon as they're served to you. If you use Twitch, if you're watching, when you get an ad,
Nicholas DeOrio
write them and say, hey, I would like to know why you're spending.
Why did Ethan develop a General Grievous cough? Dude, Ethan Klein goes, and then he sees a clip of Hasan Piker talking about fucking flashing nudes on his phone. Oh, this will be another fine addition to my collection. Dude, that's amazing.
Spending directly your dollars to support violent extremism. Why are you supporting a platform that sanctions, protects, safeguards, encourages, promotes language like what Hasan just deployed against Hila and show them that. Why is Hasan on the homepage every day? Every day when I go there. Why?
It's because all of the current employees are essentially the grown-up frat bro aesthetic that was left there, and Amazon doesn't really intervene, and they run it like shit. Like, again, like, you could say all this stuff. Why is Hasan here? Why is Hasan doing that? Why don't they have a content ID system? Why don't they have an adequate copyright system in place? Why do they have to manually unban people? I mean, you could say this is a systemic Hasan. You could say this is like a Hasan-specific issue, but this site is a fucking disaster.
I want to give a shout out to AT&T, by the way, who recently has been telling people that they sponsor on Twitch that Hasan's not allowed.
Are they frat bros? No, they're nerds who wanted to be frat bros. They're the... Dude, again, if you want to see a crazy Twitch controversy that nobody talks about, look up Hasan. Not Piker. Bakari. Hasan Bakari is such an interesting Twitch controversy that came up years ago, where people were alleging that Hasan Bakari for years was doing unbans for nudes and weird sexual advances, right? And then they investigated Hasan Bakari and they fired him, and we never found out why. And he was like the head of trust and safety at Twitch, wasn't he? What was Hasan Bakari's position?
What's the name of the guy? Keemstar Orbiter, Nick Oreo, Mr. Oreo.
I did a bit. It was supposed to be the very beginning of my Hasan. The very beginning of the Hasan video that never came out was going to be Colossal is Crazy. It was going to tease a big collaboration with Colossal is Crazy, but the joke was that he researched the wrong Hasan. I wish I had this right now, dude. I fucking wish I could find this clip, because it is so unbelievably funny. Give me 2 seconds here, because it's going to open up my timeline. I don't want to leak my timeline. Oh, okay.
This is the most annoying part of it, is framing this as the poor cops that got stomped on that day. It's so funny. I'm sorry. I don't care. I literally don't care. I am of the mindset that civilized countries allow its citizens to fucking brawl with cops, okay? Because cops are not above the law. They're human beings, just like the people whose skulls they're crushing on a regular basis.
Across the vast no man's land of social media, there exist influencers who regularly exploit others for their own benefit. For a time, on twitch.tv, there existed a leech so depraved, some might even refer to him as unironically evil. This man abused his power granted through Twitch to exploit others online for years. And his name is Hasan.
But I was like, no! That's the wrong one! What the fuck? We researched this for 6 months! That was... that's Hasan Bakari. That was the guy who got fired from the trust and safety team. I thought it was a good bit. I thought it was a good fadeaway. I thought remaking the FouseyTube intro as a bit was a good idea, or a pretty solid fucking one. Dude, the audio of Hasan Piker in these things is just so good. I'm gonna just play this for you. This was just the intro music, because the final comp AVI is not working. If it'll load. Oh my god, it's taxing my computer just to remember what was actually here. What is this one? Hasan Audio 2. There was we play this clip every so often, but the clip where he's just wait, what is this?
This stream really drove home how desperate.
Oh no, that's the fucking Vega one. I miss bringing people into this.
Okay, let's get the priors out of the way. Are people mad about this? Yes. Does their anger matter? No. Will a bunch of people who combined have less clout than Hasan spend months talking about this to absolutely no outcome effect whatsoever? Yes and yes, respectively. Are we going to talk about this? Yes.
Hasan Piker.
Hasan Piker.
Poor little Hasan.
Hasan Piker, also known as Hasan Abi.
I don't want people to think that I'm fucking running away from criticism. I never do. If anything, people get mad at me for maybe doing too much diving headfirst into criticism.
And this is where you're showing that you're a fucking fraud. You are engaged in behavior that you as a socialist ought to be fucking critical of. The exploitation of another's labor for your own benefit.
Hasan is literally living the most impressive most capitalistic, most hyper disgusting consumeristic life.
Dude, that is the most socialism I could do, baby. That's some redistribution right there. Redistribution of clout. My lord, dude. Socialism, unironically, is about making sure that you make more money. They said, this is no holds barred. This is yours. I don't want anything from you for this. You can literally go back and look at the fucking DMs that they will openly admit. I literally bought them computers and said, here, you get to own the means of your fucking production. Sometimes I do understand why the fuck rich people exploit the fuck out of these idiots, okay? This way, you can do whatever you want with your own computer. They're so fucking stupid. Like, they're too stupid for their own good. They're just like waiting. They're like, please exploit the shit out of me. Like, what are you gonna do? Not fuck these people over? What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, you could just, it screams that it was fucking, it screams that it was from fucking 2021, doesn't it? Oh, where's the Bo Blacks one? Not that one. Is this?
All right, yeah, that's good.
No. Oh, that was for the, is that the...
Didn't that Bo Black...
Oh, I don't have the visual for this, do I? Oh, no, I do have the visual. Here, I have the visual for this one. This was going to be a fucking reference. I might tweet this one.
All right, yeah, that's good. Thank you so much. I just wanted a tweet read for the video. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Didn't that Bo Blacks guy literally do a fucking song where he was just singing the N-word? All lives don't matter, Black Lives Matter or some shit like that?
Some people don't know the struggle of being fucking...
Are you really fucking kidding me, dude? This motherfucker has the audacity, the gall to fucking call anyone else out? Suck my fucking cock.
Dude, I love the OG Hasan beeps, dude. Some of these were so fun back in the day. What is this
you
one?
debate Nick DeOrio and...
Oh, that's another fucking would you debate Nick DeOrio meme. Yeah, that's pretty much all that was in here. There's also the Destiny interview that's never getting released too. All right, well, that was a fun trip down memory lane. Save and exit. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm glad I didn't make that video in hindsight. But you could tell with the editor drama, that was like a peak 2021 edit. Oh, the Gawk and Galls release it. There's really not much left, I gotta be honest with you, but I could see myself doing one in the future. I just don't know if I want to go back to my main channel just to make more Ethan Hasan-Destiny. I kind of want to pick a new topic.
Why aren't you doing the streamer games? AT&T is part of the sponsors, and AT&T doesn't fuck with me.
We watched that clip today, yeah.
Why?
So they asked Ludwig, Hasan's friend, who, by the way...
It was fun when it wasn't about genocide. Motherfuckers would be here like it was fun when it wasn't about Israel-Palestine, like every drama wasn't your favorite YouTuber fucking raping somebody last year. Okay, I gotta be honest with you. I still think this is better. I don't want to talk about fucking child molesters every time I fire up a stream. It's like, we got to cover more Ethan Hasan-Destiny. All right, it wasn't murderous until like this week, all right? Prior to that, there was a lot of good fun happening. Remember Creator Clash? Remember we toppled the charity? That was a real good time. I had a good time doing that. Last year, it was all, big rapist came to town, fucking pedophile came in here, and then all blah, 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 blah. Okay, back to finishing off this video.
Who very bravely was like, hey, listen, buddy, you can't be in my videos anymore. I'm going to be your friend. I'm going to openly support you. And
yeah, if we're not talking about stochastic terrorism, then we have to... If we're not defining stochastic terrorism from the dictionary, then we're defining CSAM, so pick your poison.
Big shout out and, you know, Nicholas encourage you. My girlfriend's going to do...
I mean, it was like the year of the pedophile for like 4 consecutive years. It was the half decade of the pedophile before this.
Podcast with you, et cetera, et cetera. But AT&T, they're crazy. They don't want you in any of our videos.
Gaming for Hope was peak. Dude, we made fun of one loser on fucking thing, and they sent me an email saying I'm a malicious bully. I was like, bro, I'm sorry. I'll get back to covering rapists and pedophiles. Have fun.
Videos. You know, shout out to AT&T. Let's see more of this and less of Hasan in these videos. I am encouraging you guys.
I think it is funny that like all of his friends were like, well, we're still going to do this event. Fuck you. Like if they really gave a shit, wouldn't they kind of just boycott if AT&T says he can't participate? But obviously none of these guys are that principled. The only principle Ludwig has is not wanting to be in trouble with like Hasan's shared audience, I imagine. I don't know, shared audience, is that really the issue?
Pressure advertisers, to pressure Amazon, to pressure Twitch as a last resort. This is a plea for sanity, that something be done before it's too late.
Is this really ultimately, Ethan, I think nothing's going to happen, but nothing ever happens.
On behalf of myself, my wife, my children, my crew, all whose safety has been compromised.
I think when skulls are sent to somebody's house, you should kind of treat the concept of killing them with kid gloves. Maybe I'm a hypocrite for that. Maybe I've said something in the past that doesn't really align with it. My current position and current day is that when a skeleton head is mailed to a guy's house, you should probably treat the concept of death with kid gloves. And I think that's probably a pretty fair takeaway.
To please help us stop this. This is madness. Thank you.
Yep. I mean, I think that was a pretty solid video. I think that was much better than I was expecting, I gotta be honest with you. I'll tell my grandchildren I was there when the first VOD dropped. So yeah, after that now, we've got a couple of other things that we wanted to take a look at here. I was pretty excited to see this as well. That kind of does it for the content related to fucking the Hasan Piker comment. I hope my argument came through well there. I know we kind of looped a lot, went back and forth and stuff and got out of place, but I think we ultimately got to where we had to be. Yeah, so we got a couple of different things here.
I recommend watching
Nicholas Kelvin R, thank
DeOrio's
you.
latest video.
Bro, Ethan and Hila gonna be seen with guns protecting their home like that protest breaking in the gated community based.
I don't even know what the protest in the gated community is, but fuck yeah, dude. I don't know. Fuck yeah or hell no, depending on... All right, so now Sam Cedar has been talking hella crap right now, saying that he could sue the shit out of Ethan Klein.
They have only attorneys now. We should try to get into this business.
No
kidding. No kidding.
Wait, does he? It's not over the Monica thing, right?
We're going to we're not even going to have cameras in here anymore. We're just going to have one lawyer and give them Ethan Klein's Instagram. And I'm going to be a multi-millionaire. They have only.
So I thought that was funny. I wonder what he's going to say about that. I'll be interested to hear it.